Hey folks, MePhone11 here, and I'm Terry Crews. It's another matchup for the NHL Game of the Night. Tonight's matchup, you're ready to be witnessing the rematch between from the Central of the Eastern versus the Atlantic. This division is the biggest on the showdown. The range doesn't keep coming. It's the Boston Bruins, and they're facing against the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Benchmark International Arena. The new take, replacement from Amalie Arena, as now we've got some great coming actions for you, as a special guest will be joining in very soon. But now, let's have a look at one of the starting goaltenders. As for the Jeremy Swayman is a starting goaltender for the Boston Bruins. And for the Lightning, we have is Andrei Vasilevsky, the Big Cat. Now we know why we called for the Big Cat, but for now, we'll have more discussion in the middle of the game to call why is the Big Cat a better reference to be the King of the Jungle. Here are the starting players, and we start off with the visiting team of the Boston Bruins. We start with David Pastrnak. He makes the quick releases on the Dedevsev's quick shot release. 1T also makes it in. And Elusive Deeks on the ankle breaking also makes it done the same thing too. With Charlie McAvoy, he makes a Trulensis on the destructive shoulder checks with Stick 'em Up and Warrior. Then Hampus Lindholm with the elite edges, send it pass, and quick picks. Nikita Zadorov is a Trulensis shoulder checks. Then Pavel Zacha, the big rig and the big tipper. Morgan Geeky for the pressure. And then it's Jeremy Swayman, the showstopper. It almost makes it harder to stop, but momentum, the building reflects with the saves. Then we have is Elias Lindholm, the quick draw and no contest zones. And last but not least is Casey Milstad. I prefer to say Casey, but as you all may know before, but one of you all may say Casey, some of you may say Casey, but a lot of people say Casey Milstad. From transfer from the Colorado Avalanche, he now has a tape-to-tape zones. Make the name reference for you people. That's for all of you. Let's head on down to the other side of the team. We go back from top, and for Tampa Bay Lightning, the biggest star, scored over 1,000 goals. We start with Nikita Kucherov. The quick release and pressure makes the tape-to-tape zones one of his best play efforts. He's one of his amazing teams to salute and make the fans rise and powerful from his milestone career. Then, Andrei Vasilevsky is a starting goaltender for the Lightning. He also has a showstopper, the same thing with Jeremy Swayman. Then, it's Victor Hedman. He's a stick 'em up and quick picks to mount his effortless interceptions. Braden Point, who has in wheels and makes it also a big rig and no contest zone. Brandon Hagel, he also makes a no contest and Warrior. But the last time what happened, Brandon Hagel had a lot of hugest fights against the Florida Panthers, and they don't expect it that they won't like it. But for now, Brandon Hagel will have to play it clearly if he would have to fight on the Bruins or not. Then Jake Gensel, who makes a quick release and for the pressure. He has the pressure on the building shot, and he might have it all. Then it's Anthony Cirelli, the quick pick in a no contest, and then a stick 'em up ability from Brian McDonough with the Warrior. Then it's Yanni Gord, a no contest overpucking the battle strength, and then it's Olivier Borstrand, a quick release and the pressure. And last but not least is Darren Radish, ascendant boosting the breakout pass. Now that's all done. We now send you down to Tampa Bay in the nearest of the shore, right from St. Petersburg. It's that time to have the biggest matchup showdown. My next commentary partners is Son of Beast from Tampa, along with Roy. And a third guest is Fan, and the center ice I welcome over is Palm Tree. And we'll see you all later for the intermissions and post-game shows. Enjoy the game, folks. Bruins, Bolts, ready to go. Enjoy! It's live in here. The Bolts is where they come. It's game time for our showdown of the game. The Bolts and the Bruins are one big showdown to have it all. Puck is ready and we are underway in Benchmark International Arena. I'm Son of Beast and I am here with my broadcast partner along with Roy and Fan and the center ice Palm Tree. We start things off as the starting goaltender starts on for Andrei Vasilevsky, the starting goaltender for the Lightning, and for the Boston Bruins is Jeremy Swayman. J.J. Moser now finds it over to Radius. He has it again to Moser. Moser pass now finding it off to Radius. A quick release shot, quick save made by Swayman to have that glove catch release, and he'll stop and freeze here with under a minute to play to start in the first period. The biggest of the big draw as we talked in for the Boston Bruins and for the Tampa Bay Lightning. For the last part of the postseason, they made their advantage in the second round. What didn't seem to be improving was that the Bolts haven't really found anything to win in the second round since 2 seasons ago as they lost against the Boston Bruins in game number 4, and then it was taken over with some big showdowns here to find what was going on. You know this Prizzy game here, I'm going to tell you now, it's all about David Pastrnak. You know, I don't see anything that's going to kill him for now, but when you do see what was going to happen, the improvement don't really seem to care. Nothing bothers in there when you just don't get it. No change up when you need to do it for, but you have to be playing it on the right move. This needs a quick off change, but you need to send it. You get Moser to Kucherov on the backhand. Save up by Swayman. And the rebound will now kick in for the Lightning as J.J. Moser outside now finding the Radius. Here's the K-goal shot. Oh, kicked it out, and it's now Radius with the puck. Moser finds off. Deep set. Hits it. He scores! Nikita Kucherov. The big rebound as they start a 1-0 lead. Now watch what happens with Nikita Kucherov. The bouncing play happens with Nikita Kucherov. When it's bounce off range, you just don't have the right choice. And this percentage for Kucherov, the bounce back in was really right into the target. No way you would ever do for. And I was explaining that one out with some greatness to have that good look. Nikita Kucherov with his first goal in the game. Kucherov's team has finally had picking up his first goal in the game against the Boston Bruins. And what they all expect now is that why wouldn't people really like Nikita Kucherov? There is this question that is disabling from the fans of Boston Bruins. Well, it seemed like that might be very harsh on that play. And it can be a little bit destroying. I'm not even sure how they were able to do for it, but that's what they were expecting to do now. They've got to see it. What's going on with Nikita Kucherov and their teammates. That's what they need to do to watch it ahead. Pavel Zacha will start things off here for the Bruins, and you'll have the pass to Middlestad. And that shot with the blocker save by Vasilevsky. Gloves it up for 2 times in the effort, and he'll cover things up. 15-10 remaining in the first period. That's his 358. To give off the third commentary, I give a warm welcome is Fan. And with that, Fan, we've really noticing that you've been watching this, and what is best effort? What does it take you now to be here? Well, thank you, folks. I really am sure I'm very happy for this Lightning goals. But I'm really spotting out what's going on. The last part of the game, we have been really conceding for the teammates, and really a lot of appreciation for the fans 23 is really turning to me with some huge supports to give for the effort. And for the last part of it for the Florida Showdown, I've been wondering about this one here, Centerpiece. The one thing I wanted to say is that they've been hitting it off so hard, and lately after the backing from the play in action, there's no way I was really seeing it. And what I noticed about that time, because what happens with the Lightning and their teammate, they really have been strong out. They've been really keeping in for some highlights and for reels, the Bolts on the scoring drive. This is a lot of great ones that we were spotting it on for.
And what is your take on this one here for the Lightning?
Will they be able to beat the Bruins?
Hey, you bet they would. Because they really have a lot of high-risk players. They played so well. Franchise teams helping them a lot with some superstars. And for real as X-Factor players. They're sure enough they would be here at the next digit levels. Vintage shot saved on the pad made by Vasilevsky. And he now is off to Anthony Cirelli. Here's Holmberg. Shoots and scores! Pontus Holmberg tips and dives as now gets a turn-upping lead for the Bolts. What a shot range afterwards. And this fire range is bull on a slash. What happens with Holmberg, this is where that goes in. And that screen gets it off the other way. Now, this is no effort that you have to give to Pontus Holmberg on this drive range. That tips it in. This show range has really been like coming in for the highest range effort. You have to watch on Swayman. When you don't have the right choice, you miss that opportunity. That missed out for the goal, and then this is a 2-0 lead for the Bolts.
What an incredible take is, and I have been saying that Pontus Holmberg, he really keeps it in with a great show on roll. Kurali with the puck, now has it to Jeanette, and that stops it again by Vasilevsky. Kurali shot 2 times stopped by Vasilevsky. He'll freeze it here with only 12:05 remaining in the first period. Now standing by with the center ice, I'll now hand it over is Palm Tree for the stats of Nikita the Cooch. As a name, Kucherov. Thanks, fellas. Been saying it before. As we really are specking for Nikita Kucherov, one of the famous of everybody's fans, been really showing it off with some greatness on the status. The one big thing to take for Nikita Kucherov, he has a lot of standards
That's his
from the
20th goal
alternative
of the
captain.
season, his
The
first
teammate
goal
we
of the
really have
game
been
for
seeing it
Pontus
for.
Holmberg.
It's the long way down to have his own greatness and apology for the Nikita Kucherov. I've been loving this on this guy for so long, and whatever saying for Nikita Kucherov, he's been ascending onto his
Time and goal, 7 minutes, 22 seconds in the first
He has
period.
a lot of great
Lightning
effort
goal,
techniques.
Pontus Holmberg
The
with
motion
the
is
goal,
endless.
assisted by
But
Anthony
most of all,
Cirelli.
I've been loving
Charlie
to see how
Aguirre
Nikita Kucherov does.
in the
And
first
this might
period,
be
7
of
minutes,
his
22
zapping zone,
seconds.
and the first period was a big tip back to have that great range. I'm super excited to have Nikita Kucherov, the best take of the effort. I'll keep an eye on here with some best players in the offense and see what Cooch takes on. Guys, thank you, Palm Tree. Now has it again to Concalves. And deep zone to Radius. Radius pass the other way. Now he has it right around the net to Ginzel. Ginzel's battle along the boards. And here's Gergitsen as Concalves. A pass to Moser. Here's to James. James pass to Radius. Moser shoots off the pad by Jeremy Swayman and rebounded by James. Well, that James is giving us some rebound in there. You may have to see what gets in the way. And I don't expect now it's coming because Jeremy Swayman, he's a little bit heavy to have out of the attack. You might have to watch out with that. 95 over 91 passing effectiveness as the Lightning has really been like striking him out. Now the win for the Bruins as now here's McAvoy. A send pass again to Asperant. Asperant to Millsap. Down the zone. Pass to Arvidsson. Shot glove save by Vasilevsky. Borchard finds it off to Paul. Paul pass to Crozer. A given to Finley. She scores! That is what Finley. He has that cut range from the corner as Crozer gets the assist. What a addition range. Got Finley his first NHL goal for the game of the night, and I was been looking at it right along the way. When you see where Finley comes in with the attack, that's where you have been spotting it to have that quick snap. That's big and take. When there was nobody around, that's where Finley would come in. That rebound was really going to not take it for Swayman, but that's another goal. So now it is a 3-0 lead for Tampa Bay Lightning, as for still, the Bruins haven't found any goals to keep it in. Well, it's a big shutdown here going on. That's on Vasilevsky when you need to watch out on that. Carlisle finding Crozer and has it now to Finley.
Finley with his first goal, looking for 2 as he's stopped by Swayman. 8:04 remaining in the first period as they're having another puck drop. Now sending it over to Boston Bruins, back to Palm Tree for David Pastrnak. David Pastrnak, he's one of his starters on his highest percentage on the ultimate range that he's ever to make that accomplishment for. I've been saying it for now, for what I can recall it from Pastrnak, he was really one of his Republic on the teammates after playing for the Olympics. He's really having the one time and the great effort to keep on that with the goal. What we say now about Pastrnak, he has really been showing it with the witness is really given for the Bruins, and one-time effort might be the start of it for his show now. I'm watching on this one, and this one may be a favorite for the Bruins. I'm looking forward to finding out for David Pastrnak at that great range. Let's see how he holds on. Right over to you, Son of Beast. Here's Kucherov back to Radius again to Cirelli. And that's back to Steve as Boston Bruins got the puck back. Well, this is a lot of big quick interceptor on that, and that one is a big interception. Quick picks are really easy. There's no stopping and denying the effort if anything goes possible or bad.
That's his first goal in the game, his first of his NHL
Teams
career.
are set, ready for our next puck drop.
3-0
is a big lead for Tampa.
And by number 20,
Dominic James wins the faceoff as Radius has it across back to Dominic James.
Goal, 11 minutes, 22 seconds in the first
He hits
period.
the Gintzel.
Lightning goal, Jack Finley.
Gintzel to James. He shoots for him.
By Max Crozier. And Nick Paul.
Pastrnak for the rebound. And James has it back.
In the first period.
Radius as the Lightning gives it back over to Gintzel. Elias Lindholm with the puck recovery and a big showstopper by Vasilevsky. Pastrnak for the rebound. Here's Lindholm. Another save by the goaltender. Lindholm chance. It's given by Gintzel. Deep to zone, right to James. Poked it up and rebound by Darren Radius. Radius behind the back. Try to go into middle, and Swayman will give it over to Loray. Pasternak's on the attack. The shot, and that one kicked up with the crouch down, as that one will cover and freeze the puck for Vasilevsky. 4:20 remaining in the first period. If you take a look at Elias Lindholm, this is where that hit comes right toward it. A bang and hit off the helmet. That's where you see things when you don't spot down with the hugest Bruin takedown. That's where the bear claws on that. When you don't see it, you're not looking at the right timing of the effort. Yeah, it's been pretty how hard it is for the Bruins. That's where the hardest hit. You're not going to spot it on with a great effort. That's where that one come by for Elias Lindholm to have that knockdown. The Bruins are back on the offense. Here's another change up here for the Bruins. It's now Arvidsson with the rebound. The transfer from the Edmonton Oilers is now he will have to have a new regroupment to show what his next level is with the Boston team. Well, I may say with the Boston team may have shown it off. Victor Arvidsson may see it clearly, but there's no way that they are changing it off. Not on my watch when you're saying about Arvidsson. Last time we played it for it, they made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final. But until his trade contract lasts, he will have to finish things the other way. Yeah, it's been just the last time that we ever see about to get the look for Victor Arvidsson. We were able to see him return for the Edmonton Oilers, but now this is a big new change here as Carlos is sending the other way with the Oilers, and now for Arvidsson, this might be his new career with the teammate for the Bruins. This is where that hopes changes in for a lot, and many of you whom might show it again. Here's Cirelli to pass to Carlisle. That shot blocked up and is rebounded by Hagel. Asperux right again to McAvoy, and here's Jeanette. A shot. Oh, Crozier blocks that shot. And he makes it, goes back to Cirelli. Wow, what Crozier did now, he was really sitting it up here. And he's like, well, I'm just going to have to do my best. And he had that one with a great block. Wow, a true Anxious Warrior hit for the Bruins. Here's Carlisle's shot and a save up by Vasilevsky. Approaching the final minute of the first period.
This is the final minute remaining in the first period.
Kicks it out to the wing. Waits for a while. He finds Goncalves. Goncalves loses one. David Pastrnak again, and now to Asperot. Asperot in the Lightning territory. Lindholm swings and misses. I-man rush. He scores. Elias Lindholm has now fired it in over Vasilevsky, and they get themselves on the board before the end of the first period. Well, that's confidence out there. When you see what happens with Elias Lindholm, that swings and misses, and this is the range that gives the goal. And now they're already stuck it up on the board. That's just where they come in. It's 1 and then 2. Now it's 2-1 to 3-1. And that really moved around here quickly for Elias Lindholm. He would just have the right choice. That Lindholm shot is going to be over and a take by 48. Can't forget about that, how you're going to make it through if you have the goal in range. The win for the Bruins. Here's Shakaru. The Kookaroo is a James, and he'll set out of the way. And Eric Cernak will have it covered right around the board. And that one is going to take the end of the first period for the Lightning and the Bruins.
About ends the first period.
3 goals over 1.
3.
That's for Gary Radius. There's a lot of big takes.
Intermission.
But one showed up, and it's Lindholm. Be back for the second period after the break. Hey fellas, welcome to the first intermission of the NHL Game of the Night on EA Sports. MePhone11 and Terry Crews would like to see how this action track goes, but it may not be enough to have it fouled out. Here's what happens with the total box scores and for the summaries. It was 17/12 on the face-off draw, then 10/5 on the summary that took it from here, and then 3/1 was the goals that was taken over with the chances. While the rest of it shows up with 11/5 for Boston on a hit, 547/111, 90/87 for the Lightning. And it was only 10/5 face-off wins. That may be the hardest thing that everyone has been doing for the Bruins and for Lightning. May be easy. Now let's send it off to Terry Crews. What's your take here for the Tampa Bay Lightning? The Lightning has been starting off on a strike. The mighty is where it takes. That's what I really love to see, how they can keep on moving things across from the chain. And then for the other team of the Boston Bruins, Jeremy Swayman got a good run. But the showstopper may have happened with Andres Vasilevsky. He might show things in. And they said, well, I felt like I got good confident rhythms. This might be from the head coach from John Cooper, from the head coach from the Lightning. That may not be his night to be given a win, but that's where he gets some instruction for the teammates to help things out. Let's see what Lightning takes. Now over to you, MePhone11, for Boston Bruins. Well, Boston really had happened with Jeremy Swayman. They're just doing okay, but there was a lot of huge defensive breakdowns here in the middle. Let's not try to keep panicking around it and find out what's going on. And that will have to wrap things up for the first intermission. We go back to the center ice for Tampa Bay, as Son of Beast, Fan, and a Crews are ready to go. We'll see you back here later, folks, for the second intermission. Enjoy while you can. We'll be back with the third period for the second intermission after the second period's finish.
Welcome back, folks, as we're ready to get started for the second period here at the Amalie Arena. First period is down in the books, and there's only 2 more periods remaining in regulation. Let's see what happens with the Boston Bruins.
Goal, his 18th goal of the season, his first goal of the game, scored by number 28, Elias Lindholm. This is by number 45, Jonathan Asperot.
Nikita
And
Kucherov
number 88, David
on his own
Pastrnak.
rebound.
Time of the goal,
And spreading it
1939
on the
remaining in
other
the
side
first
of it, I
period.
gotta say,
As Pastrnak
for
goal,
Nikita Kucherov,
Elias Lindholm
he's
with his
been playing
first goal, his
so
18th
well.
of the season,
It's a great
assisted
start
by
for him
Jonathan
that
Asperot.
time.
And
the
David
other side
Pastrnak
for the
in the
Boston
first period,
Bruins,
19 minutes, 39
for
seconds.
so long, and trying to find a Jeremy Swayman, he's got to look for somebody else. He doesn't want to get anybody else right behind it, but this is the back that might have to just keep on rolling it in. They're pretty sure they're going to have to find someone to regroup. Radius now finds the Moser. Goncalves on a shot, save made by Swayman. And the puck will clear that one out of the zone. That one is sent too far. The Stu with the puck. He'll have it to Nikita Kucherov. Here's Cernak as he enters in the Bruins territory. Goncalves switches it up. Back on the line group is Ginsel. Here's the Kai. What a stop made by Swayman. McAvoy on the board. And rebounded by Pasternak. That's given away by Cirelli. Ginsel will reset the line group. Big smash down right toward the wall. And now here's another one to Cernak. Cernak regroups it over to Cirelli. He's off to the Stu. Right toward Milton. Goncalves over the net. And it stays out. Now here's Kushtanov. The Boston Bruins on the attack.
What a save this is for Jeremy Swayman. I couldn't just say that he was really on to a highest percentage. But this is a lot of regaining group out there.
You got to keep an eye on that. Goncalves right around the net. Dominic James behind the cage. He'll now have it back over again to Ginsel. Ginsel shot. Another huge save. Goncalves trying to put a rebound. And back to Victor Arvidsson for the Boston Bruins. It's given away by Jake Ginsel. The Lightning regain the group. Try to go right back to Goncalves. Goncalves chance over to Stu Ginsel. Spins it behind the back. Stu keeps moving it all again to Goncalves. A lot of big group defensemen here. There's a lot of big on a swing in motion. And that must have been a grapes full of it. Trying to regain his own. Lightning have a lot of room to get there as Cernak tries to have that puck valley again to James. Here's Moser's shot. Another stop made on the goaltender. James goes back to Goncalves. And now he has it over to J.J. Moser. Pass again to Cernak. Cernak pass to Goncalves. Here's the Ginsel. Misses on a shot opportunity. That's again to Pavel Zacha. And he goes it over to Geeky. Boston clears his own. And Darian Radish will have his own rebound. Around the boards. Mistakenly to Vasilevsky. And back over to J.J. Moser. Good slick feed here for J.J. Moser. He comes to Holmberg. What a save here by Swayman. And rebound comes up by the Lightning.
You know, I wouldn't be expecting about Jeremy Swayman. He's really keeping it all on his iron-on effort. He doesn't seem to be going it all whole take. But this is more likely to have some great effort.
Pass broken up by Yanni Gord. And around the back again to Gergensen. He gets over to Holmberg. Holmberg on the attack. To Moser. Here's the backhander. Another save by Jeremy Swayman. And he's over to Jeanette. Again to Mintek. Mintek shoots, and it's save made by Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky's going to hold things over here with just nearing the midway mark. Remember this game against with the Jeremy Swayman and Vasilevsky? The goaltenders have made that one with the hugest on the hit. And they had huge big fights after Jeremy Swayman got a little energy heated up already. And because Boston Bruins are really able to keep it forward, and they have been knocked that one out. And this is where the goaltenders comes into fight here for the Stadium Series matchup in Tampa Bay. This is one of the hugest knockoff ones. Remembering the last part of it from Askarov against Sergei Bobrovsky. This is one of the biggest games.
I know. You got to love this one. Jeremy Swayman got a little bit hot afterwards, and there was a lot of goalie fightings going on. This is because we expected to say that this one is really kind of hurts. You know what I'm saying? Because this really happens with a hugest big impact. Right in between of the Tampa Bay Lightning for Andrei Vasilevsky, and the other one for the Jeremy Swayman for the Boston Bruins. They've been knocking that one out. It's a big fight. And I know there was a lot of huge initiative fights going on. And this is not what they all expected to do for. Major on the penalty, 5 minutes for a penalty on the fighting. That could definitely hurt. Very big.
Borchstrad with the puck again to Cernak as we pass the midway mark in a second. Cernak goes down, and there's a tremendous hitter by Pavel Zadarov.
Yep, see, I told you that Zadarov was able to get that. And that Trelensis was making a huge escape. He just knocked him down very clean. No penalty on the Boston that time.
Olivier Borchstrad will dip the zone out of the way. Jakuru with the puck, and now off to Elias Lindholm.
Zadorov again to David Pastrnak. Pastrnak shot. Quick timing releases, but a catch saved by Vasilevsky. Pastrnak's right turn away. Back to Asperon on a shot. Blocked by Darren Radiesh. Moser on the attack. He goes in quickly. Right to Borgstrand. Trying to get on, and now it's back to Moser. Back on ice is Holmberg. Here's a shot. Saved by Swayman. Shows his stopper with under 8 minutes remaining in the second. Well, I was saying about Nikita Zadorov, this is where that big hit may have had in there. And with this one, he was not showing up responsibly. Nikita Zadorov has to watch it clearly. And I'm saying now, as for Zacha, he's watching on this because Zadorov had made that one with a huge hit. That makes him clean, not dirty. Crozier again to Carlisle. Here's Holmberg, shot almost tipped it in. That stays out, and Yanni Gourde with the rebound. Carlisle goes out of his zone, and now back to Gergensen. They regain a group of the line, and Gergensen will have that range to Carlisle again to Crozier. Keeps moving again to Gergensen. Here's Crozier, save made by Swayman on a diving play with just under 7 minutes. I was never seeing how Swayman was able to do before, but that is sort of a huge save. You just really cannot get away from this because Swayman was really able to have this energizer. This is one of the hugest no contest zone for the goaltenders. That's when it keeps happening. They really don't have anybody to give out. And they'll have to stop the play as they go offside for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lots of time left to be played in this period. Still a 3-1 lead as for Tampa Bay Lightning, leads by 2. Now the win for the Bruins. As now Asperad, it's given away by Gergensen, and he'll have a new line group change for the Lightning. Crozier will now go the other way. Runs right toward it. And into the Bruins territory is Finley. Here's Finley for 2! Save made by Swayman. The Stu right again to Crozier. Finding Finley. And it's taken away by Asperov. Here's Casey Middlestad from the transfer from the Avalanche. He'll have it to Zacha. A shot glove save by Vasilevsky. Nearing the final 5 minutes in the second period. Tampa Bay and Boston are really one of the hardest ones to be there. Dominic James wins the faceoff. And here's Cernak. Again to Dominic James. He sends to Concalves. Back for the line group, James. And trying to get a rebound, but it's taken over by David Pastrnak. Pastrnak to Lindholm. Knocked him by Gistu. Tampa Bay back in the offense zone as the Lightning regain the group. Pastrnak wants to get rid of it. There's a big Relentless Warrior hit. Cernak. Here's James. Doesn't get through it, and it's now off to Swayman, and he will have it again to Kushyanov. Elias Lindholm, James got it back, rebounded by the Bruins. Boston on the attack. Kushyanov can't get over it, and now Dominic James will have it the other way. Deep pass around the zone as Goncalves with the rebound. Goncalves goes right back to Radiesh. Moser again to Ginsel. Here's a shot. Glove save by Swayman. Goaltender's going to hang on here with only 3:14 remaining in the second period, and we'll get ready for another face-off. Still looking for our big goal here, as the Lightning still have a comfortable lead, 3-1. Now the win for the Bruins. Here's Charlie McAvoy. He'll send it right into the Tampa Bay zone. That one is off a defender and rebounded by Kucherov. Here comes a heavy break. Right turn wing is Radiesh. Here's Moser on the shot. What a stopping glove denying effort by Swayman. And Mitten with a rebound again to Geeky for Boston Bruins. No offside for the team. And a save. Great save by Vasilevsky. That's where you're going to have to go with those sometimes. And that's what happens. You need to be out there. 2-on-1 opportunity scores! A dish-off is Brandon Hagel, scoring a one-time goal. And this pass goes with Nikita Kucherov. That's where he was able to look for. He was going to give it right away, and this is a big zip across. This is where that pass comes in. Watch for Nikita Kucherov. That's where Henkel was going to get this shotting percentage, and he was able to have that right timing done. Now that's no option when you need to do for things. When Nikita Kucherov sends it deep on a pass, you have that zone intake. You just really get that when you open look. And there is the other side. A blank pass over in for the goal goes to Brennan Hagel. That's where the goal comes in. You have to watch it and see it to believe it. As now with the win for the Boston Bruins, here's your Curry again to Zadorov. Zadorov, pass broken up. Ferguson the other way is now Carlisle will have it again to Holmberg. Holmberg is right into the Boston territory. Now it's sent a pass to Crozier. Crozier looks to Carlisle, trying to look for the cut. Holmberg shots blocked by Zadorov, and it's now Kurali.
This is the final minute remaining
the
second
period. As now this will deep out of the zone. And rebounded by Crozier. Crozier waits.
25th goal.
And now it's sent to Yanni Gore, but it's a knockout. Here Casella's shot. That is another huge save by Vasilevsky.
There you go.
They're doing it again.
That's Brennan Hagel's 126th goal of his career.
Moser
Moser
shot. That one is off and deflected again to Holmberg. Final seconds remaining. Here's Paul's shot. Saved by Swayman. One chance opportunity. Stopped by Swayman. The time is run out.
Having goal, 18 minutes, 3 seconds in the second period.
Nikita Kucherov
the second period.
with the score and assist
Tampa Bay Lightning
to get to
and the
Hagel.
Boston Bruins.
Second period is
For the
down.
second
One
intermission.
more period remaining, and it's third after the break. Hey folks, welcome to the second intermission, as we are now been carrying it off with the comfortable leading score as a 4-1 takes for Tampa. Here are the score combinations for the second period after that. For the intermission report, it was 27/23 shots on goal. That was for the Lightning. 27/12 for Boston Bruins. And then it was 11/50 over 2-13. Tampa Bay Lightning are just trying to control it off. With 88/85 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the faceoff wins was 15/8. We'll see how Fan does. And we got a great reports going on. And there's a lot of great action track here. But that's where you will see things in the third period. But first, we'll send you back here to the studio. As now Terry Crews, we'll see how this takes. What's your thoughts on Boston Bruins? We're getting beating them out. Well, I have to say with Boston Bruins, man, this is where I just spot things on. A big crucial attackers on the hit. They made us a little bit uneasy to try to roll things on. This is where it keeps coming back. And now you have no idea where it's going to be at. You got no idea where that comes back with this goal. And this big hit may have been just too hard for them. It's not controllable enough, but don't be easy. This is not important when you're really up to the challenge or anything. But they've been smacking it. They're trying to look for goals to get a comfortable scoring to take that close game range. This might be hard, but don't be aggressive if you're on your attackers. Now for you, Meatphone 11, for Tampa Bay Lightning. I gotta say, Tampa Bay Lightning has been one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and they're looking to get back into the playoffs again for the 5th consecutive season of the postseason. And probably on that, I mean, I wanted to see how the Lightning can definitely do and make their way to the Stanley Cup final. I think this is their favorite over by the Florida Panthers. I think we'll see them how they could win it. This is a lot of close range opportunity, but I think the Lightning might do it again. Let's see how that goes. Yep, probably on that. After the regulation season is the end, we go to the postseason. And that will do for the second intermission. Let's go back to center ice. As for now, the Beast along with Roy and Fan are in, ready for the third period. See you later, everyone, for the post-game show after the game. Third period. Are you ready for the last one? It's about to go down. Third period underway here at Benchmark International, and we are back with us here for the finishing game of the night between the Bolts
and the Bruins. All right, Roy, it's all for you now. How do you feel about the Boston Bruins not keeping it up, but for more likely, the Tampa Bay Lightning has been dominating your effort? What does it take over to you out there?
Well, I gotta say that the Tampa Bay Lightning has been like crushing it over it again. And when I gotta find out about how they're doing it really well, this offense, this strategy really made it well. Precisely enough effort. This energy is looking very well. Now taking a look over here on the other side of it as we got Vasilevsky, as Elias Lindholm trying to look for some great takes on the action. There was nothing to see what it was going to get in there. But the great thing about Elias Lindholm, he's trying to get his next goal. So he's still stopping on that. He really needs to get things onto a next strategy.
Anthony Cirelli wins the faceoff. Here's J.J. Moser again to Hagel. Big takeovers now finding to Radic. Radic went down, and it's now Pastrnak now finding again to Kushnerov. The Boston Bruins are on the attack. Lindholm takes off the Pastrnak. Big save by Vasilevsky. Rebounded up, and a shot winged it off the pipe. That one was really close, and that goes back to Radic. You can tell about now about what happens with the fire-raging shot. He would almost have that chance. This goal is almost going to be like in and net. Nikita Kucherov slicks it with the shots blocked up. Rebound by Brandon Hagel. Here's the Stu. Shot stop made by Swayman. Boston on the attack. Now has it again to Jeanette. Jeanette shoots, and another save by the goaltender. Blocked by the Stu. Rebounded by Jeanette. Here's Kiki to shot, and it gets right behind it, and it's rebounded up by Dessou. Now Cernak will have that deep zone in the range, has that pass to Ginsel. Ginsel slows things down a bit. Fires a wrist shot, another stop by Swayman. Hugest impact to try to leave him off the mark, but still no goal to take the third period.
You can say about David Pastrnak, when this rebounding is taking it in, that one is almost going to be really close. You see what happens at that point. Pastrnak is able to get that one good deflection goal, but what happened was that made that one knocked off the pipe. That seemed to be a little bit like very close call on the contact. Wow, they don't seem like they're doing it that much, but hey, this is what happens. You just try to get a better shot of the angle. Don't make a mess. Don't make the strong in the move. You miss a step, that's what happens. You try to keep moving it around.
Taka find Arvidsson. Never save by Vasilevsky. Dominic James has it over to Cage Goncalves, and the Lightning's back on the attack. Puck escapes his zone. Carlisle will have it over rebound. Pass off to Crozier. Casey Middlestad. Pass broken by Ginsel. Here's James again. Tampa Bay on the attack. As Carlisle enters the Boston territory. Looks to Crozier, and the pass is broken up again. Ginsel having a little bit of a hard time on the board. He almost goes down. And it's rebounded up by Crozier. Keeps moving it around again to Gord. And as Ginsel's team gains some new groupment here. Now finding to Gord. Outside is Moser. Pass to Crozier. Ginsel. He shoots. Another stop by Swayman. And Asperot with the rebound again to Middlestad. The new line group in a change. Arvidsson swings and misses as Moser takes it off. Now here's Finley the other way. Has his own score. Trying to look for two. Paul with the rebound now has it off. That's broken by Arvidsson. Here's the attack one-on-one. Stopped by Vasilevsky. That makes a huge save for the goaltender to have his own save of the night. That's when you have to believe on this. Vasilevsky's really like keeping it all under pressure. One time it might do for it, but it won't be enough for the Boston Bruins to have that never go. They really have been stammering. Jack Finley again, now finding it over to Bortstrand. Here's another shot, glove saved up by Swayman, and back to Jeanette. Elias Lindholm, shots blocked. Rebounded by Lindholm. Around the back again of Pastrnak. Sidorov's shot almost went tipped it in the net, and that one stayed out as truly. and possible enough for Radish to take him out. He dips it around the net. Nikita Kucherov back on ice. Battling for the loose puck, and now it's to Stu, carrying it again to Hagel. Hagel passed to Kucherov on the backhander. Another big save up by Swayman, and Pasternak's over the other way. He's trying to do some of like backhanded shots. He wants to have his own hardest shot angles. I don't know what's going on with Nikita Kucherov. He would almost have that right away. And there we have a delayed penalty. That will be on Boston on the cross-checking. As right now, Vasilevsky's off the rink. And that one play stops as Pasternak is in a penalty box.
Boston penalty number 28.
You can't start like that. I mean, when you see what David Pasternak's been doing, he was trying to lift it up, trying to watch it, and then this is where it goes with the bang. That's bad idea. Don't play what you do for. And that's where Pasternak is going to go in. That's a proof penalty kill. Boston Bruins with the first penalty kill as the power play will start for the Lightning. Cirelli's team's got to watch things off. The power play needs to give that one a puck regaining control. You have to be out there. That certainly is going to make that one huge.
Boston Bruins penalty number 88, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time in the penalty, 8 minutes, 58 seconds in the third period. Penalty on the Boston Bruins, number 88, David Pasternak for the 2-minute cross-checking. Time in the penalty in the third period of the game, 8 minutes, 58 seconds.
That's what the hard chance goes. The Stu lining to get it, James. James looks to this dude. Here's a shot for Cirelli. Saved by Swayman. 10:22 remaining in the third period as we're nearing the midway mark. Yeah, I gotta say about Vasilevsky, his timing's just turned out great. As you notice about the showstopper, he has really been playing off. That's one of his best saves of the game. And what I tell about Vasilevsky, he would have done the writer to a harder time than you do for when plays in for the offense zone. This is where it comes in for some huge saves by the Lightning fans. He's having a great night here for Andrei Vasilevsky, and so do the Tampa Bay players as we're nearing the midway mark. James finds the Stu. He finds James, a shot, it's blocked up, and rebound by Paul. And Paul was now finding again the Stu, looks over to James. James pass, now finding the Stu. And that one broken out, and here comes Kostelic. Odd man rush. Poked it by James. Great take, Prezi. Keep it alive without the short-handed chance. I gotta like to say about this. This short-handed chance made that one feel excellent. And playing enough here for Dominic James, he found his way to make this muscle. I really can't believe how he's really keeping it up. With a new line group, fires around the net as Nikita Kucherov. And Vasilevsky will now have it to Ginsel. Time running down, only 12 seconds remaining. Pasternak's back out there, ready to go. And it's blocked by Swayman. That one ends up on a power play with only 9:06 remaining in the third. He had a lot of chance here to have some great opportunity goals. Boston needs to find a way to get back down by 2. Right here, shots blocked. Your rebound is number 1 blocked. And the power play is over. Radish comes out to Hagel as Pasternak's trying to watch for careful. Well, they didn't really speed up with that at all. What they need to do for is they have to keep playing the hardest chance. There's no way when you're going to really keep on making the goals. It's just what you need to do for the passing. That's what I need to talk about that. I wasn't really sure if they're going to keep moving around like that. Kucherov, a shot, another swallow-up saved by Swayman. And McAvoy the other way for Boston. The Bruins on the attack. It's taken away by Cirelli, and he's passed to Moser. He decides to go to Hagel. Hagel, a cut inside. Big stop by Swayman. And Moser. Rebound again by Radish. Full pressure's on for the Bolts. Radish goes down, and now it's Middlestad as the puck has out of his own. Middlestad moving around, and that one couldn't get the puck control, and it's back over to Radish. Sending it deep over to Yanni Gourde. He wants to do a 2-on-1 fast break. Pass for middle. Stop it again by Swayman. Rigging ahead. Yanni Gourde takes offside with only 7:03 remaining in the third period as we're getting ready to rehydrate and get another face-off ready. Yanni Gourde wins the face-off. Jurgensen on the ring. Off and around the net. No bank pass to give it to someone for Pontus Holmberg. And Zadorov has it now to Kushkinov. Shot. What a huge showstopper by Vasilevsky. Lindholm now back again as Zadorov. Shots blocked by Holmberg. Rebound by Pasternak. Kushkinov shot and he scores. There's the goal that they are looking for in the third as the resisted taken off by Pasternak. You have to look at carefully. When you're just spotting that one and this is where the block goes in, that's where David Pasternak comes in with the rebound. That's where that Kushkinov was waiting it up, and this is giving a give over, and he was going to get a deflection, but he said, nope, I'm going to give a pass over and let Kushkinov have that goal. You're trying to mess up on the defenders. When you don't see it, you don't spot that puck on. That one really goes past her, and they're down by 2. Kushkinov with his first goal of the game, and that's nearing down the 7-minute mark in the third, and it's now given again as Ginsel has got that puck the other way. Zadorov pass to Lindholm. Lindholm pass to Pasternak. Pasternak unable to carry it out. Ginsel now has to Crozier, and that one takes a smash hit.
Boston Bruins
James
goal,
has
his
got
4th
that
goal
puck.
of the season,
The
scored by
Lightning
number
are back in the
92,
Bruins
Marat
territory.
Pasternak.
Here's Kakave.
Assisted by number 88, David
Zadorov
Pasternak.
is taking it
And by
back.
number 91, Nikita Zadorov.
He's off to Carlisle.
Time to goal in 13:45
That one
remaining.
misses out. James
Boston
bangs it around
Bruins
the
goal.
pass to
Marat
Kakave.
Pasternak, his 7th goal of the
He wants to
season.
give it back
Assisted
to
by David
James.
Pasternak and Nikita
Back
Zadorov
behind
in the
the net,
third period.
waiting patiently.
13 minutes, 45 seconds.
Zadorov
Boston
behind the
Bruins
back.
goal, his 44th goal of the
James
season,
has
his
got
first
it.
goal of the
And
game.
Mill.
Score unassisted, number 88.
Now it's James
David
again.
Pasternak.
Pass under
Down to
5
goal,
minutes
19 minutes,
remaining,
10
presented by
seconds in the
Discover.
first period.
James.
That's Boston Bruins
Passes
goal.
off is corrupted
David
by
Pasternak's his
Kurali.
44th goal
And
of
the
the
Bruins
season.
will take
His
things over.
392nd goal of his
Oh,
career.
yes, Lindholm.
And the
Shot.
third
That's
period
broken
at
up.
19 minutes,
And
10
Cernak cuts
seconds.
it again to James. James looks at Kucherov and he goes offside. 3:52 remaining in the third period. They'll get some retired regroupments as they'll get ready for the next puck drop. Cirelli wins the faceoff. Cernak, as the Lightning go back into Boston territory, goes right to around the net. Brandon Hagel right over in the wing. Wants to dish it to Kucherov. Oh, what a chance for Kucherov to have that goal, but it's been denied by Swayman. Oh, what a chance here. I indicated Kucherov, what a pass from Brandon Hagel he was going to get off to, too. I was pretty sure that he was going to keep it going. Another big save by Swayman. Sees over now to Geeky. Geeky stick lifted, and it's now over in the wing. Jake Ginsel again to Cirelli. Cirelli gets brought down, and it's rebounded up by McAvoy. Here's Mitten. Lightning beginning the group. And that one broken it up. Keeps it back in the zone for the Lightning. And for the rebound will be Esperon. McAvoy takes it over again to Middlestad. Under 2 minutes remaining in the third period, as now is Kostelik. Right on shy. Huge blocker save by Vasilevsky. And stopped again by Vasilevsky. Righty is now finding Gord, and now he rolls to Moser. Crowds, fans really love it. They're just really keeping it on the show. Holmberg shoots another save made by Swayman, and we stop the play with only 1:13 remaining. Who had a better player of the night? I will now send it over to Palm Tree for tonight's game. Thanks, fellas. I was talking right now for Andrei Vasilevsky. He was really been showing it off. And what his best showstopper really made. His ultimate goaltender. He's having 25
This is the
saves
final
to
man
27
playing the
saves.
third period.
He's been enjoying it for the life. But most likely, he will have to take a swing off of it and have that biggest on the attack. And now this time, he'll show it off how the stopper gets in for the next coming games. Guys, back to you. And after that goal for David Pasternak, it goes down by 1 with 19-10 on a shot on goal. Well, I was going to say, looks like David Pasternak has gotten that goal. Now, this is the firing shot range, and Darian Radishford had a chance to block that shot, but it was too late. It wasn't enough. It was 100 miles per hour. He could have had a chance to have that goal. That one was very behind. Watch what happens with this play. When you get the slacker, that is really fast. More than beating it over by a bullet. That's because what happened to Pasternak, he's really keeping it up. That's where it's going to get into. Zaka's team wants the face-off. Here comes another one for the extra man attacker. Moving around, almost been tipped. Oh my goodness, Vasilevsky! He controls it, and that is almost a treble rage going on for the Boston Bruins, and it looks like that Pastrnak is trying to hold things out. Yeah, the fans are really like supplying that one, and that's going to be like the hardest game that they're ever going to do for it. Cirelli wins the faceoff. Moser sent it deep to Hagel, and it's back to Zadorov. 30 seconds remaining in the third period. Pasternak's back in. That brought him down. Moser takes it out, and he goes to Cirelli. No icing, and there will be. As the puck flies right toward the wall with under 25 seconds. Do you see about Victor Arvidsson? That's where he comes with the hit, and he goes after the pass from Moser. I don't see what gets in the way, but that really must have duped it up. Nearing down to the end of the period. Looks like a Boston wanted to try to tie that one up, but the Lightning wants to deny it. Cirelli with the back-to-back winning face-offs. And he's going to set it at Hagel! And that will miss out. Nikita Kucherov will do. That's going to end the game as the Lightning takes the strike to stop on the Boston. 5-3 is your final. There's no joke. When Hagel tried to go with the empty net shot, he missed it, but it's all for Nikita Kucherov. He just had 2 goals. That's rebounded for Jesker, and whatever just says now, what happens with Brendan Hagel, he could have had a chance to have that goal, but it wasn't enough. That made it untakeable. That really is going to change it up, and not anybody does the same. That's where it goes with the win. And that is the end. Clock is 0, and the Lightning will take a strike with the win over Boston. Always say for Andrei Vasilevsky, the showstopper, that's where you have to name it. I do indeed so. I mean, about Andrei Vasilevsky is really like keeping it going. And enjoying it was a better one to take. And we all salute fans. Thanks, Thunderbug. Appreciate your support. Well, that's going to end up things here for the game, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Along with my broadcast partner, along with Palm Tree and Roy Cruz, I'm Senate Beast. You've been watching the game of the night of the NHL 26 on EA Sports. Be sure to check out other videos as well, right in the playlist. Well, that's what being said. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody. Alright, thanks, Senate Beast. And now time to swing on to the 3-star players of the game. Third star starts Brandon Hagel with the goal, assist, and hit. He only makes 1, and that pass after Nikita Kucherov, that's where it goes into the net. Then your second star player of the game goes to David Pastrnak with 1 goal, 2 assists, and 7 hits. He only made this hit. That's big roughness and hit uncomfortable. And your first star player of the game for the Lightning is Nikita Kucherov. 2 goals, 1 assist, and only had this hugest tape-to-tape action. You may never guess it how he makes his rebound. That one makes it crazier. It does so. I mean, I can't explain how he was able to do things, but problematically, I don't see anything. What do you see out there, fan? Well, I gotta say now, I mean, this is what I've really been looking forward into. So, not really much anything out there, words, but as for always, it's been like the finishing to the part of it, but nothing really stands out to shock. I mean, I was really enjoying this. Seeing things from the Lightning and the Boston Bruins, they really had shown it off like they never did before. And now you know it, that they really had kept it in for the line. It will be the next time that they will see them again. Thank you, folks. Really appreciate it. We'll see fan next time here as the Pittsburgh Penguins will face against the next team against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That'll be the part of the next game here at the PBG Paints Arena. Be sure to check out the next game of the night here of NHL on EA Sports. Well, that's it, folks. That's going to wrap it up, and we'll see you all again soon. This is MePhone 11 and Terry Crews signing out. So long, everyone, for as a while as the game of the night on EA Sports Style.
If you don't, somebody will.